What was found under the Dome of the Rock shocked everyone. Have you ever been curious about what is hidden beneath one of the most well-known religious structures in the world? Be ready to be amazed as we expose a fascinating and little-known history that was discovered under the Dome of the Rock, revealing a fascinating and little-known history that will leave you in awe. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. There's a lot of mystery surrounding the past of the well-known landmark Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, which is cherished and recognized as one of the holiest edifices in Israel by both Jews and Muslims. Ibn Battuta, an Arab explorer who lived in the 14th century, once wrote about this landmark, describing it as an edifice of exceptional beauty, solidity, grace, and distinctiveness of shape. Because it was constructed on top of a rock that is revered by Muslims as well as Jews all over the world, the shrine plays a unique dual role in the religious history of both Judaism and Islam. This is the location, according to canonical sources of Islam, where the Prophet Muhammad is claimed to have made his ascent to heaven. According to Jewish sources, the biblical character Abraham came dangerously close to sacrificing his son Isaac at this location in order to demonstrate the depth of his devotion. This holy site in Jerusalem is known in Arabic as the Qubat as-Sakra and sometimes incorrectly referred to as the Mosque of Omar. It is the earliest Islamic structure that is still in existence. Both Jews and Muslims place a high value on the rocky outcrop where the shrine was constructed. In Islamic history, it is claimed that the Prophet Muhammad, the person who founded the religion of Islam, ascended to heaven from this location. According to Jewish legend, Abraham, the first patriarch of the Hebrew people and the founder of the Hebrew people, is claimed to have planned to sacrifice his son Isaac at this very location. Both the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque may be found on the Temple Mount, which is also the location of Solomon's temple and the temples that succeeded it. The Caliph Abdul Malik ibn Marwan commissioned the construction of the Dome of the Rock between the years 685 and 691 AD, not as a mosque for the purpose of public prayer, but rather as a mashad, which is a shrine for pilgrims. It is of enormous artistic and architectural value, being practically the first monumental edifice in the history of Islam. It is rich with mosaic, faience, and marble, the majority of which was added several centuries after it was completed. The shape of the Dome of the Rock, which is primarily octagonal, is more typical of Roman or Byzantine architecture than it is of Islamic architecture. A wooden dome with a diameter of roughly 60 feet erected on a raised drum rises over a circular formation consisting of 16 piers and columns. Its circular area is enclosed by an octagonal arcade that has 24 piers and columns. These octagons are repeated on the exterior walls, with each of the 8 sides measuring around 60 feet in width and 36 feet in height. The windows are plentiful not only on the dome, but also on the outer walls. Both Christians and Muslims living in Europe during the Middle Ages held the belief that the dome itself was a Temple of Solomon, or Templum Domini. During the Crusades, the Knights Templar made their quarters there, and subsequent Templar cathedrals across Europe replicated its design. Let's talk about the brief history of the shrine. Crusaders. The Al-Aqsa Mosque was converted into the royal palace of Baldwin I of Jerusalem in 1104. This occurred as a Dome of the Rock was granted to the Augustinians, who converted it into a church during the Crusades. Because of their firm belief that the Dome of the Rock marked the location of Solomon's temple, the Knights Templar made the Al-Aqsa Mosque, located directly across the plaza from the dome, their headquarters throughout the better part of the 12th century. As a prototype for Templar churches across Europe, the Templum Domini, as it was called, was included on the official seals of the order's Grand Masters. Ayyubid and Mamluk rulers. On Friday the 2nd October 1187, Saladin regained Jerusalem and reconsecrated the harem as a Muslim holy site. The Dome of the Rock had its cross removed and a golden crescent installed in its place, and a wooden screen was installed to conceal the rock below. Al-Malik al-Muzam Isa, Salah el-Nephew Deans, completed additional harem restorations and built the Aqsa Mosque's porch. From 1250 to about 1510, during the Mamluk period, sultans lavished support on the harem. Sultanate of the Ottomans, 1517 to 1917. During the reign of Mahmud II, which began in 1817, extensive refurbishment work was carried out. Around 1620, the Ottomans erected the standalone Dome of the Prophet next to the Dome of the Rock. Colonial rule by the United Kingdom, 1917 to 1948. On Monday, 11th July 1927, an earthquake struck Palestine, severely shaking the Dome of the Rock and rendering many of the repairs of the preceding years unusable. From 1948 to the present day, Jews were not allowed into the Old City, while Jordan ruled Jerusalem. With its 1967 Six-Day War victory, Israel also gained control of the Dome of the Rock. Shlomo Goren brought the Torah scroll and the shofar into the Temple Mount's Dome of the Rock as well. To maintain the peace, the Israeli government deflagged the Dome of the Rock a few hours after the Six-Day War ended and gave control of the Temple Mount Haram al-Sharif to the Muslim Waqf. The Temple Mount and the Eretz Yisrael faithful movement are among the many who want to see the dome moved to Mecca and replaced by the Third Temple. Given that the dome is owned by Muslim religious foundations, which hold it in the highest regard, any attempt to damage it would be met with violent resistance. In Israel, many people have mixed feelings regarding the movement's goals. It is considered arrogant to try to push God's hand by some Orthodox Jews, who, following a rabbinic canon, believe that the temple should only be rebuilt at the time of the Messianic era. But some fundamentalist Christians see this as necessary for the end of the world and the return of Christ. This viewpoint is deeply rooted in the hope that the temple will be rebuilt in its place according to prophecy. Before moving on, smash that subscribe button to be updated with all the amazing information we got for you. Coming back to the topic now. Talking about the architecture of the shrine, to find out what's beneath it. The structure and ornamentation of the Dome of the Rock are based on the architectural legacy of Byzantium, yet the building of the Dome of the Rock in the 7th century reflects an early stage in the development of a distinctive Islamic aesthetic style. The building has a base in the shape of an octagon, and on top of that, there is a central dome made of gilded wood. It is situated in the vicinity of the platform center. The dome, which has a diameter of roughly 20 meters or 65 feet and is situated on a raised drum, rises over a circle that contains 16 piers and columns. Its circular area is enclosed by an octagonal arcade that has 24 piers and columns. A section of the holy rock that is below the dome is uncovered and surrounded by a railing for safety reasons. A set of stairs descends down into the rock, where there is a cave that was naturally formed. Each of the 8 sides of the octagon formed by the outer walls is roughly 60 feet broad and 36 feet high. Moreover, the exterior walls form an octagon. The windows are plentiful not only on the dome, but also on the outer walls. Marble, mosaics, and metal plaques are used to embellish both the interior and exterior of the building. The mosaics in the Dome of the Rock exclude any representations of human or animal forms, instead featuring Arabic script and vegetal patterns intermixed with images of items such as jewels and crowns. Although the mosaics are similar in technique to those found in Byzantine public buildings and churches, the mosaics in the Dome of the Rock exclude any representations of human or animal forms. Inscriptions of Arabic religious texts can be found all the way around the octagonal arcade. That's all for the video today. We will be right back. Until then, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel.